Today I'm comparing two of my favorite cold wallets, the Tangem 2.0 and the Keystone 3 Pro, to find out which wallet is ultimately better. I'll cover both wallets' security, features, durability, user friendliness, customer support, and compatibility. And after all that, I will choose the real winner. I've also included a link to each of these wallets along with a discount code in the description if you decide that one of these wallets, or maybe even both, are right for you. Let's start with Tangem. This is easily one of the best cold wallets on the market. It connects to your phone using near field communication, or NFC, which basically all phones have nowadays, making it really easy to use. Since this wallet is just a card, it doesn't have a screen or anything, you have to use the Tangem app on your phone to manage all of your crypto. The card itself is still used to store your wallet's private key, seed phrase, and of course to initiate and authorize any transactions that you do. As straightforward as this card is to use, Tangem does not compromise security for user friendliness. Your private key, along with the optional seed phrase, is still stored on the chip inside the card. It's an EAL6 secure element chip, which is the same kind of chip used in some mobile phones, electronic passports, and even bank cards to prevent physical and digital attacks. I mentioned optional seed phrase because Tangem lets you choose whether or not you want to set up a seed phrase. Tangem does recommend that you just generate a private key, which is stored on the chip inside the card, and no one, including you, will ever know the private key, and this helps minimize the risk of exposing your seed phrase and someone gaining access to your wallet. The only drawback with this approach is if you lose all of your Tangem cards, you lose access to your crypto because your cards act as your backup, where if you opt for the optional seed phrase, you can recover your wallet using any hardware wallet as long as you have your seed phrase to import into a new wallet. But the option to choose whether or not you use a seed phrase is one of many thoughtful features that Tangem offers. Something else that's unique to the Tangem wallet is its counterfeit protection. Whenever you set up a new Tangem wallet using the Tangem app, the app will automatically check to ensure that your Tangem wallet is authentic and that it has not been tampered with in any way. Plus, the sealed and airtight hermetic design of the card makes it practically impossible to tamper with without completely destroying the card. Other security features include a user-generated access code, which you can make any length you want, so you can choose exactly how secure your passphrase is, along with biometric authentication. Basically, the Tangem card is bulletproof, especially after you hear how durable this thing is, which I'll touch on in just a bit. Something else to note is that the firmware on the card is not open source. It is audited by a third-party cybersecurity company though, so they have confirmed that there are no vulnerabilities or backdoors. On the bright side, the Tangem app is completely open source and available on GitHub, so anyone can audit it and anyone can even recreate the app if it were to disappear from the App Store, for example. But how does Tangem stack up to the Keystone 3 Pro in terms of security and features? Unlike Tangem, the Keystone 3 Pro has this 4-inch touchscreen, which is used to manage some of your crypto, but since the new Keystone 3 Pro doesn't use the Keystone companion app natively to manage your crypto, you actually use this wallet in conjunction with third-party wallets like MetaMask to manage most of your crypto. By joining the Keystone wallet with a bunch of hot wallets, it does remain completely decentralized, and the wallet itself is still used to store your private key and approve transactions, so it is extremely secure. The hot wallets are really just used to manage and view your funds, but everything you do still has to be approved through the Keystone 3 Pro. Similar to Tangem, the Keystone 3 Pro does use an EAL5 secure element chip, but it doesn't just use one chip, it actually uses 3 secure element chips. 2 are used to protect the private key, and then the third chip is used to protect the fingerprint data, which is saved on the chip because it does have a fingerprint scanner on the rear, biometric authentication that you can use to access your wallet and approve transactions. What I really like about the 3 Pro is that you can manage up to 3 unique 24-word seed phrases, and all you have to do to switch between wallets is enter the corresponding password for each seed phrase. So you basically have 3 hardware wallets in one, and no one will ever know. Along with multiple seed phrase support, it also supports Shamir backup, which is just a secure way to split your seed phrase into multiple fragments. That way it makes it more difficult for people to access your wallet if they were to find a piece of your seed phrase. Along with that, it also offers multi-sig, which would require multiple signatures from multiple people to to authorize a transaction, which is just another way to make the Keystone 3 Pro even more secure. Plus, it's one of the first wallets to provide anti-blind signing, which decodes the transaction details of a smart contract into a human readable format. That way you actually know what the heck you're signing before you sign it. That way you don't accidentally sign or authenticate any malicious transactions. Arguably, the greatest feature of the Keystone 3 Pro is its optional air gap mode. This mode enhances security by cutting off all forms of external communications, including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and USB. In this mode, you scan QR codes to finalize transactions using the camera on the rear of the device, and you can also update the firmware using a micro SD card and the micro SD card port. That way you do not have to connect this device to your computer or, again, any external forms of communication, keeping this wallet offline and completely secure. But for those of you who don't want to use the air gap mode, you don't want to scan QR codes, you just want to connect the USB to it and update your firmware that way or approve transactions using the USB, you can choose to do that if you want. And that's one thing that I can say that I appreciate from both wallets, the Tangem and the Keystone 3 Pro, is that they are really good at listening to user feedback. And what they've done is made a lot of these options, a lot of the feedback optional, so that the user gets to choose how they use their wallet. And I think this is the way forward when it comes to hardware wallets. The 3 Pro is also the first cold wallet on the market to use a payment card industry security housing, which basically means that the 3 secure element chips inside the device are encased in this super sophisticated housing. That way, if someone were to try to access the device physically, it would result in an instant data wipe. Oh, and Keystone's code is completely open source, both its software and hardware. 100% open source, so anyone can view it and audit it as they please. So how durable are these wallets? I know a lot of people are concerned about the longevity of their hardware wallets, and I can say that the Tangem wallet is the most durable cold wallet on the market. It's IP68 rated, so it is resistant to water and dust. It's also resistant to extreme temperatures, both hot and cold. The card is also resistant to X-rays, EMP, and ESCs, or electrostatic charges. So you don't have to worry about going through airport security or storing your card with other cards in your wallet and it getting damaged, because it's not affected by any of that stuff. Also, since Tangem doesn't have an internal battery or any other elements that are prone to failure, this card is designed to last a minimum of 25 years. Obviously, the Keystone 3 Pro is not as durable as a Tangem wallet, as it does have this massive 4-inch touchscreen. It also has a built-in lithium-ion battery that will fail one day because batteries don't last forever. But it is made out of this super thick and durable plastic. I've dropped this wallet several times on a hard floor and it still works flawlessly. That said, even when the battery does fail, you can still use this wallet just by plugging it into a power source using the USB cord that comes with it. I wouldn't expect the battery to fail anytime soon, especially considering we don't use hardware wallets as often as we use our phones. So you could probably expect to get at least 5 to 10 years out of the battery. And usually LCD screens last a minimum of 10 years and maybe even longer in some cases. Now, user friendliness is just as important as security. Crypto is already complicated enough. We don't need our cold wallets to be complicated too. Without a doubt, Tangem is hands down the most user-friendly cold wallet on the market. The app walks you through the entire setup process, every single step of the way, and you can have your wallet set up in just about 3 minutes. Whenever someone is looking to get their crypto into a cold wallet, or someone who just wants a different cold wallet, always point them to Tangem, because again, it is the most straightforward wallet, super easy to use, and all you need to use it is an NFC enabled smartphone, which again is nearly all smartphones nowadays. Keystone, on the other hand, is also pretty simple to use. It's not as simple as a Tangem wallet. I set up my Keystone in about 15 minutes, 5 minutes just for the normal setup process and writing down my seed phrase, and then another 10 minutes approximately for updating the firmware, because once you receive the device, you will want to update the firmware, or at least make sure that the latest version of the firmware is on the wallet. Now, speaking of the firmware update, that is the most challenging part of setting up the Keystone 3 Pro. If you choose to keep it in air gap mode, you will have to use the micro SD card to update the firmware. And before you do that, first you have to format the micro SD card using your computer to a FAT32 file format, and then put the firmware on the micro SD card, and then insert the micro SD card into your wallet then you can update it. But if you want to skip that entire complicated update process, you can just use a USB cord, plug that into your computer, and download the firmware directly on your wallet without any of that hassle. Now, both Tangem and Keystone employ QR codes for initiating and approving transactions, so they are similar in that regard. Obviously, Tangem uses your mobile phone camera versus Keystone, which has its own camera on the back of the device. One other thing that makes the Keystone 3 Pro a bit more complicated to use is how most cryptocurrencies are managed on this device. Since it doesn't have a native app, you do have to use a third-party hot wallet to manage your cryptocurrencies. Everything that is done through your third-party wallet still needs to be approved using your device, and the seed phrase and private key is still stored on the wallet, so there is no risk of compromising your wallet when you connect it to this third-party hot wallet. It's not terribly complicated. It is just a bit of a hassle, but personally, I prefer security over convenience. Obviously, it's nice when the two can mesh together, which Tangem has done really well. But if you're looking for the utmost security, the way that Keystone has it set up using a third-party hot wallet in conjunction with the actual device itself is one of the most secure methods on the market right now. Something that I believe and that I've noticed that is super underrated in the crypto industry is customer support. If I have a question or concerns, I want an answer right now. I don't want to have to wait or get a robot. And that's something Tangem has put a lot of time and effort into. They actually recently opened up a 24/7 customer support line, which includes instant messaging and emails. So all of your questions will never go unanswered. What's even more impressive with Tangem is their support team is actively collecting different data from social media, emails, messaging boards, like Reddit. And they are taking all this user feedback and giving it directly to their development team. And that's why we have seen a lot of development come into the new Tangem 2.0 wallet, such as the optional seed phrase method. As far as updates for the Tangem wallet, you don't have to update the actual card. The firmware comes as is. It's non-updatable. This is done on purpose so that someone can't inject a malicious firmware into the card. The only thing that you have to worry about updating is the Tangem app, and that's just to get new currencies and blockchains and other features added so that you can use it with your card. Now, Keystone might not offer 24/7 support, but they do have really great support. I've experienced this personally. They're very active on Twitter and other social media platforms. Even in my comments here on YouTube, Keystone has replied directly to some of my subscribers who had questions. So I'd say overall, they definitely do a good job of receiving feedback and implementing it into their products, such as the Keystone 3 Pro. Keystone frequently rolls out various updates for their wallets, so you will need to update the physical device often, especially if you use it more often. I'd say probably once a month, or if you don't use it that often, maybe once every 3 months. And those updates are mainly for usability and then also additional coins and blockchain networks that they may continue to add in the future. Both Tangem and Keystone don't only offer great customer support, but they offer ample coin support as well. Tangem itself currently supports more than 6,000 coins across 37 blockchain networks, and again, they are constantly adding more coins, more networks to their wallet, or to their app, I should say, as more user requests are coming in. On the other hand, the Keystone 3 Pro is compatible with more than 5,500 coins, 200 blockchain networks, and over 25 software wallets, making it the most hot wallet compatible cold wallet on the market. Try to say that 10 times fast. Hot wallet compatible cold wallet, hot wallet compatible cold wallet, hot wallet compatible cold wallet. Okay, it's not that hard. Taking all that into consideration, both of these wallets are actually really affordable, which is kind of surprising. The Tangem wallet, one of the most affordable cold wallets on the market, $50 to $60 depending on if you want 2 or 3 cards. And then the Keystone 3 Pro is only $130, which is super impressive because other wallets, say for example, the Ledger Stacks is like $300 and it's a less secure wallet. So really the better bang for your buck are these two wallets, and both of them are even cheaper. If you use the links in the description of this video, you'll save 10% on Tangem and I think around 8 to 10% on your Keystone order if you use the links in the description, so definitely check that out. Okay, so both wallets are really good, but which wallet is the best? Which wallet is the winner? Well, best is subjective, and your choice is really going to come down to your priorities. Do you want convenience? Do you want security? Do you want a more affordable wallet? Do you want one that's a little more expensive? We all know that people have different preferences when it comes to managing their crypto. But if you are looking for the most user-friendly cold wallet on the market, the clear winner is the Tangem Wallet. Can't recommend this wallet enough. Super easy to use. And I pretty much recommend this wallet to everyone I come across who is looking to get their crypto into a cold wallet. Now, if you're looking for the ultimate secure wallet, the vault of crypto wallets, the Keystone 3 Pro is a no-brainer. This thing is literally a vault for your crypto with its 3 secure element chips, its optional air gap mode. I mean, I can't recommend this thing enough. I store a majority of my crypto on a Keystone device or using a Keystone device, whereas I use my Tangem wallet for more like everyday transactions. So that said, I do use both the Tangem and the Keystone 3 Pro wallet. But if you were to just choose one, if you have to choose one, again, Tangem for user friendliness and just ease of use overall, or the Keystone 3 Pro if you're looking for a long-term storage solution for your cryptocurrency. And if you're still undecided, I have reviewed both of these wallets, which you can watch in these next videos right here. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you in the next one.